Okay, morning everybody. So, as you can see, we are going to go over something you may have gone over before. If you've taken business courses before, this gets taught in a lot of different business courses. So, grade 10 business and marketing are two of the big ones. So, SWOT analysis go along usually with something called a PEST as well. But the PEST part we don't need. What we do need to look at today is a SWOT analysis. And the reason we're doing that is because you're going to do a SWOT analysis based on what you did yesterday, and that was evaluating a trade agreement that Canada has entered into. Okay, so first I'm going to go through this. Whether or not you've done this before, like I said, if you've done business courses before, then there's a really good chance that you already know what a SWOT analysis is. Basically, this is a way to evaluate whether a decision you're making is a good one. It's also a way to evaluate the marketplace and things like that. So if you are going to invest in a business, for instance, or you're going to make a decision about the expansion of a business, you would run a SWOT analysis about that. You would also look at if you were going to open, say you're going to open a new, open a new bowling alley, you would do a SWOT analysis on that type of decision. You'd look at the marketplace for adding a bowling alley. So, for instance, we're going to do this for a trade agreement, as I said. Okay, and this adds into, as I said yesterday, when you learned why trade is important, basically the idea that all countries can reach bigger, almost all countries can reach bigger things by trade. So going it alone, not trading, self-isolating, has the negative effect that your growth potential is stunted. So even if, looking at, that's a history lesson, unfortunately, one of the biggest things, like Nazi Germany, for instance, they had no real interest in trading. They wanted to be an autarky, which is being self-sufficient, but they didn't have things like abundant resources of, say, rubber. And so they attempted to scientifically find out how to make rubber from coal. But again, luckily, these things didn't work, and not having that trade network and not having that supply network like Britain did really prevented them from being victorious, amongst other things. Anyway, getting back to it. Okay, so SWOT analysis. So let's say you're looking at expanding into, you're going to expand into, you're gonna try and put a NHL team into Quebec City, right? That's a very popular thing. So they would do a SWOT analysis on that. Okay, so the strengths. So this is NHL team in Quebec City. So the strengths, there's already a strong fan base. There's already an arena in place. There's already, a past experience, because the Nordique used to play there. Right? What else? There's also, there's what else is the strength in there? Well, I'm gonna go to each one in here. I know there's others, but this is just to give you an idea. So weaknesses of it, this would be, I guess I'll put there are corporate sponsors, but at the same time, the one of the weaknesses is lack of robust corporate environment, right? Lack of national or international popularity. Oops. Okay, so they got those. They would have done this, by the way, deciding to put that team in Seattle, right? And they would have come up with some of these things. Okay, opportunities and threats. So the opportunities is, well, I'm gonna again past what was I going to the fact that the Nordique were there is that past nostalgia for the past. That's so the nostalgia for the past is an opportunity that there's only 7 Canadian teams, right? And this is Canada being the biggest fan base, right? I'm going to put a threat is Montreal Canadiens being so close. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Yeah, Montreal Canadiens. A threat is also language, laws, and political climate. Opportunities also as a is the francophone base. Basically, that means you'd have rabid fans, but political climate and I would say also, well, lack of desire for players to play there, right? So if you look, this could be a lot of these things. You couldn't even disagree here. You would also have in here, you'd have specific numbers going into this as well. You know, you'd look at the actual corporate landscape, and you'd have maybe companies in there. Well, for instance, like a strength would be, I think it's called Videotron, right? They're already a big thing in Quebec. That's a company. Sorry, Videotron. Boop. They're already multimedia, just like Bell and stuff like that. So that's already there. What I mean by the lack of desire for players to play there is because Quebec City is pretty north. It's fairly remote. It's not very big in comparison to other cities like Seattle, for instance, that just got a team. So you would look at these things as reasons to go for it or not. If the strengths and opportunities outweigh the weakness and threats, then you would say, okay, let's go for it. If not, then you wouldn't go for it. Okay, so in terms of looking at trade agreements, right, you're going to look at strengths in terms of, you know, what are the good things about the deal, and of course we're going to take into account what are the good things for Canada. What are the weaknesses? You know, what do they have to give up? Maybe what are the opportunities? What does that new market bring to Canadians? And threats? What threats does it have to Canadian industries and stuff like that? Okay, so you're going to I wish this would be this is handy when it's a classroom class and stuff. Just put people in groups, but I'm going to say if on your own. So, wow. So 2 to 3 we can work together. Okay. You're going to create a thread in the discussion linked below. Once I post this, there's going to be a link, and so you're going to create a thread that has the trade agreement as the title, and I'm looking at probably like max 2 groups per trade agreement. Okay, because I don't really want to read 5 to 10 of them on on the North American Free Trade Agreement. You know what? I'm going to change that to 3. So max 3. Wow, that looks terrible. Max 3. 3 groups. We'll see how it goes with that. 3 groups per trade agreement. Again, I don't want to see. I don't want to have to read the same trade agreement over and over again. And Canada is a part of a number of trade agreements, so this really shouldn't be a problem to get people in there. And also, you may not want to compete against other people, like the entire class, for the same thing. So you're going to, as I said, create a thread with name of trade agreement. This is very messy. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna do your SWOT analysis. You're going to create a visual presentation that shows the SWOT results and overall evaluation. Okay, so you're basically kind of doing a report card here on trade agreements. So I want you to submit that. Make sure everybody's name that's on it, by the way, is also in the thread. So you create a visual presentation, and it has the SWOT results and the overall evaluation. I know I'm not going to tell you what to use. Infographics, by the way, really work well, I say. And you can take a look at examples of infographics on different things, but those are really good. But you can do presentations with different software and stuff as well. And you got to make it visual, got to make it interesting. I don't want text heavy. If you do a presentation like slideshow, I don't want text heavy slideshow. And I'm not going to tell you length either. I want you to fully explain your SWOT and your final result, and it should be that somebody else reads it will get all that information out of it as well. All right. So yeah, we can get to work on that. Like I said, 2-3 people can work together. You can make your own. You don't have to get in a group. You can do it on your own as well. You can lone wolf that bad boy too. It's up to you, but I'll give you that chance to work with other people if you would like to. Alrighty. Okay, I'm sure there'll be questions, but hopefully not many.